Today we are going to be tackling the second part of harnessing our strength, which is knowing your weakness. To be able to do positive, you must know what you do negatively. So if I am not somebody who likes smiling, and I want smiling to become my trait, I have to acknowledge that I don't like smiling. And that way I can put effort into smiling so that it becomes one of the best parts of me. All right. So remember, we are talking about our personalities, us as people, because whatever we do in our bodies, in our lives, whatever we bring ourselves up to is what ultimately affects the rest of the world and affects our life, our decisions, where we go, who we meet, who we associate with, and whether at work we move up or down. All those things are affected by our personal traits, which comes into strengths and weaknesses. So you must know what your weakness is so that you avoid it and then be able to build your strengths, or know your weaknesses so that you can work on them so that they also become strengths. Let's go right ahead. We have weaknesses, and we would call these ones the personal weaknesses. And what we know is that they can be mental, physical, or emotional. Any of these weaknesses. They can be mental, they can be physical, they can be emotional. Meaning it may have to do with your brain, it may have to do with your physique, or it may have to do with your feelings. Any of these can be a weakness. All right, now, most of these weaknesses prevent us from fulfilling our dreams, our goals, and any potential we have in life can easily be marred by these weaknesses we have. And if we don't pay attention to them and work on them, no matter what kind of strengths you have, suddenly your weaknesses can come in and affect the strengths and make it complicated. They can also prevent you from achieving success. You know, you can be on your way to becoming one of the best something, and then one day, one of your weaknesses just shows up. You tell a little lie. You take extra change that was not yours. You burst out in anger. Something that just comes and mars everything that you worked for. So that's why we have to know our weaknesses so that we can address them and make sure that they are not affecting all that we've done to build our strength and to put them out there. Weaknesses can affect your career, your personal, your social life. That's what I've said. It can be at work that your weakness affects you. It can be you that your weakness affects, and it can even have effect on the people around you such that they do not want to associate with you anymore. And since we don't want that, let's learn how to identify our weaknesses. 10 ways that we can identify our personal weaknesses. And once we identify them, the choice is ours to either decide to suppress them and make them non-existent, or to work on them and then make them become part of our strengths. That choice lies with you. So as we talk about it, make the decision. Would you rather do away with it, or would you rather build on it so that it becomes a strength for you? Let's go to number 3. Number 3 says, take a clear look at the people you relate with generally. All your relationships, not just one. Whether it's a marriage relationship, a friend relationship, colleague relationship, whatever relationship you have, you must take a look at it. So you look at your personal relationships, the friends you have, the people you mingle with. You look at your professional relationships, that is your colleagues, your workplace, and then your social relationships are when you go out, what you do, how you mingle. Look at all these relationships you have. Take an honest look at them and realize that it may be different to separate these 3, and which one is personal, which one is professional, and which one is social. It looks like, because sometimes you have friends from work who are the same people that you socialize with. So it may look like it is separate, but it can be done. And this is how you do it. If one is hindering you from achieving what you must, then you have to change that relationship. So let me give you another example. I am at work. I'm supposed to get to work at 6:30. And I have friends at the same workplace who have decided that they will never come at 6:30. They will come at 7:30, or they will come when they please. It's because of that, it is affecting the way you work, because you are not able to start early. And when you're not able to start early, it affects your productivity for the day. Or it is affecting you because that promotion you were due for, Every time punctuality comes up, you are among those people who don't get promoted because you are not punctual. Once you realize that that professional relationship is affecting your work, you have to change it. Am I staying out too late? Am I getting too drunk? Should I even be drinking? Am I talking about people, gossiping about people? Any relationship that is not pulling out your strengths, but is rather making you weak and pulling out the negatives in you, it's time for a change. So you must mark and identify those relationships that do not help you and keep those ones that help you. The next point about how or ways in which to identify your weaknesses is get a coach. Get somebody. I always say that you must have somebody you look up to. A mentor, a coach, a big sister, a big brother, a pastor. Somebody must be ahead of you that you are looking up to. Somebody that can gear you towards the right path. Somebody that must scold you if need be, correct you if need be, encourage you, prep you up, hold your hand, give you a shoulder to cry on. You need somebody like that. That person is aware of your strengths. That person is aware of your weaknesses. And their aim is to make sure that your weakness does not overcome your strengths. There are people who've been through things and have been able to overcome their weaknesses and make their strengths stand out. And those are the people you must look for. Either you pay or you don't, whichever one it is, but there must be somebody with you as a coach, a mentor, a leader, some sort of person that is prying you on and helping to identify, no, I don't think you're very good at this. I would rather if you explored this, but this you don't do very well in it, so why not explore this one rather, you know. People who are not afraid to tell us that this is a weakness, get rid of it or sort it out. Everybody needs somebody in their life who is not afraid of them, that tells them as it is. If you do not have one, you are not growing. It may look like you are growing, but I'm telling you, there is no workplace, there is no relationship, whether it's social, professional, personal relationship, where if you are not honest with your weaknesses, you can grow. So get a coach. A coach will give you feedback, a mentor will give you feedback, and provide you support when you need it. If something happens and you are struggling with how to overcome a certain weakness that you have, this person in question can help you to become better at doing it, can give you ways and means to overcome it. You may never know. Sometimes they've even been through the same thing. They're able to tell you how to get out of it and become a better version of yourself.